racism can have many different faces. There is, for instance, the very open, blunt, little bit dumb Ku Klux Klan version of it that is so explicit, and it does exist in our world, but it's not part of the NCD world at all. You wouldn't find that version in our circles. But what we have to deal with are more subtle versions of racism, that you take your own culture, your own nationality, your own race, expressed by the pigmentation of your skin, and seriously believe that this is superior to others, or the other way around, that you take other people and you have the information of the pigmentation of their skin and devaluate them for that. That is racism, and we have to fight against that in the name of the triune God. I can tell you my own values, my own procedures, how I deal with that, and I don't suggest that anybody else has to take over that very procedure. But whenever I encounter racism, I immediately end the discussion, I stand up, I leave the room. For me, it would be a pure waste of time to spend 1 or 2 seconds more in such a discussion. By the way, that applies to persons of all pigmentations of the skin I have to deal with, whether this is a white person or whether this is a non-white person. I had, not too many, but a number of occasions where I had to do with non-white people who just took the information of the pigmentation of my skin and projected all of their probably authentic bad experiences that they had gained with other people with the same color of the skin, and projected them on me. All the evils in the world that I am not responsible for just because I have the same color of the skin. That is racism. That is racism. It directly stems from hell. I immediately have to stand up and leave the room with no regard whether the person in front of me is a white racist or black or yellow or whatever racist. Well, there are many aspects that contribute to what you are, that define a certain group that you belong to, and the pigmentation of your skin is really not the most intelligent criteria. You know, I am living here in the federal state of Schleswig-Holstein, directly at the Danish border. Of course, that determines a little bit who I am. To a certain degree, it even determines the pigmentation of my skin. We are just now experiencing a very warm summer here, so it's a little bit darker. It never gets darker than that, than it used to be. So the pigmentation of the skin can change to a certain degree, but that is really not too much influential to what I am. Or another area, I love Mozart. So I have a lot of things in common, you know, with other people, whatever the pigmentation of the skin may be, who love Mozart. I am a father of 3 kids, so I have a lot of things in common with other fathers of kids. I use a Macintosh computer, so I am part of the Mac community. We share some, maybe not too important, values with each other. That's more important, I am a part of the NCD family, the intercultural, interdenominational NCD family. That has a very strong influence on who I am, what my values are, and so on. I had been raised in my youth in post-war Germany in a way that people who resisted Hitler became my personal heroes. So I visited a lot of those people, I mean those few that survived that struggles, and tried to learn from them. Even later, people like Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King, Desmond Tutu became my personal gurus. I am sitting in the same boat with them. Their struggle is my struggle. You know, we belong together. It's ridiculous to look at the pigmentation of the skin and define from there who you are and what your values are.